Oh my god, they're so bitter and so good. Hi my beautiful YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. If you're new, of course, I am Danny. Welcome. I hope you all decide to subscribe to keep watching and keeping up with me and what's going on and watch more of my videos. So today I am recording a pregnancy update video. If you're not new to this, you know I've started tracking my pregnancy journey. You can watch those previous videos of my journey from how I found out to finding out the gender, things like that. So today I want to discuss my first trimester. Anybody who may have just found out they're pregnant or who's just curious about what the first trimester of pregnancy is like. If you're trying to get pregnant, if you plan to get pregnant in the future, if you are in your first trimester and you're kind of like, is this normal? Like, is anybody else going through what I'm going through? That's what I want to talk about today. So I'm not going to hold us for too long with the boring intro. Let's get right into the video, into the topic. So like I said, I am pregnant, as you all should know. I am, as of today, 23 weeks and 1 day. I turn a week every Friday, so kind of it's easy for me to like keep up, like knowing what weeks I'm on. So say Saturday, so I turned 23 weeks yesterday. I am due on September 4th, 2020, affectionately called B-Day because it's Beyonce's birthday. But yeah, so I'm so excited, so ready to meet my little one. I found out I'm having a girl, which I showed my gender reveal video. I cannot wait to meet my little mini me, and I hope she's just like me and just so girly and glam, just like her mother. So being 23 weeks, I'm in my second trimester, and technically I'm starting my 6th month of pregnancy. So this is going by so fast. I still remember the day that I found out. Like, I found out back in December. Then at the end of December, I was 4 weeks and 2 days. So now here I'm at 23 weeks in a day, technically starting my 6th month, and just have like a few more months to go so I can finally meet my little one, and then reality sets in. She kicks a freaking lot. She's kicking right now. So if you ever see me looking weird, it's because she's kicking, and she must not like the position I'm in, or I don't know what's going on, but she's definitely kicking my lower belly at the moment. So I wanted to recap my first trimester, how that went, my symptoms, what I went through. So the first trimester of pregnancy is typically the first 12-13 weeks, depending on just how you want to track it. So a lot of people don't know, a lot of people do know the fun fact of pregnancy is technically 10 months. So doctors typically start counting pregnancy after your last period. So whenever you started your last period is when, like, the first week. So you don't really technically conceive until you're like 2-3 weeks pregnant. Technically 2 weeks. So people typically find out when they're like 4 weeks pregnant. That's when they miss their first period, because 4 weeks after their last period should be a period. So when you miss it, it's like, okay, maybe I'm pregnant. Not to get into the math and sciencey part of it, but that's how pregnancy is broken down, which explains how I am 23 weeks and I'm 6 months, and I'm due in September and it's May. So it's like, that's 4 months from now. So people typically have their babies at 9 months. Some people go 10 months. Some people go beyond that. So nice science fact. So my first trimester was November 30th to February 21st. I go by the first 12 weeks. So like I said, it starts with your last period. My last period was the end of November, but I didn't find out till the end of December. I didn't conceive my daughter until the middle of December, if all that makes sense. So a little background on just the journey. I had, like I said, found out in December. I had my first ultrasound at 8 weeks and 4 days. It was on January 28th. 2020, because they like to wait for you to be 8 weeks, after you missed a couple of periods. So do you know that first missed period wasn't really a fluke, and then you get to see more, because I had like my first ultrasound and my first appointment, so I got to like see the baby's heartbeat, see the baby, because it's more formed as a fetus at like 8 weeks. So my baby looked like a blob. I have the pictures. So before I show the pictures, I can basically kind of go in like what that first appointment's like, because I know they always say your first appointment is usually the longest one, and they take the most, you know, vitals and blood work and things like that. That compares to like later on when you're closer to being due, then things get a little more in depth. So that first appointment, you know, you fill out your form, your medical history. Doctor asks a lot of questions about your medical history, like do you have like diabetes in your family, epilepsy, sickle cell anemia, Down syndrome, any other genetic disorders running your family, yours and the baby's dad. This kind of see like what your risk factor is that you'll have a kid with one of those disorders and diseases. Yeah, they take your vitals. Usually every appointment they take your vitals. Like they'll have you, you know, pee in a cup to check your urine, make sure there's no like, you know, anything irregular. Take your weight to make sure you're gaining weight properly. Take your blood pressure, make sure your blood pressure is not too high. That's typically like what they take every appointment, and they took that at the first appointment. So they had my initial weight, what my blood pressure was, make sure there was no like anything in the urine they can tell, like they be able to like diabetes or anything like that, like certain disease that you can tell in urine. Then I met my doctor. How I kind of chose my doctor, I didn't really want to tell anybody I was pregnant until after my first appointment, just for that extra confirmation. So I didn't really want to ask anybody like who I should go as a doctor, because that would like raise a red flag. Like, why are you looking for a new OBGYN? It's like, I don't know, I thought people would kind of guess that I'm looking for like, because I'm pregnant. So yeah, I was like kind of really reading hella reviews. I was looking at like top doctors in my area. I knew what hospital system, because we have 3 different hospital systems in my city. So I knew what hospital system I wanted to deliver. So I was looking at like the best doctors in the hospital system. Ideally, I wanted to deliver at a certain hospital. Kind of turned out that my doctor doesn't deliver at the hospital, so I'm delivering at still one of my other top options for hospitals, just not my top option. I knew the area I wanted to go to my doctor, because I wanted to go somewhere close to my house, because I knew with work I would be having to go to my appointments before work, because I didn't want to use personal time. So I would need to schedule appointments that were right before I have to go into work, so I wouldn't have to travel a distance either from home to the appointment or from the appointment to work, if that makes sense. So I chose to get somewhere close to my house, so I can just, the travel time between my house and the location wasn't that big of a deal. So that's how I found my doctor. I found the best doctors, what people consider like the best reviewed doctors in that doctor's office. That's how I picked her. And it turned out that doctor's office, like I said, delivered at the hospital, the Austin hospital. Still the same hospital system, but not my top choice. So a little disappointing, but you know, definitely make sure you're asking and you're knowing exactly what hospital your doctor is. Like if you have a hospital in mind that you want to deliver at, make sure you look for doctors that deliver at that hospital, because you don't want to like go to the doctor office and then they tell you, yeah, we don't deliver at the hospital, we deliver at this one. It's kind of like you're already there, so you're kind of like, I thought I found my perfect doctor, but now I don't know if I want to keep her or him because they don't deliver at the hospital I want to deliver it. But I was a little more flexible in my hospital, so I stuck with my doctor. I also knew I wanted a woman doctor. Men doctors are great, but I just have a different connection with like a woman doctor. I think I do. So, you know exactly what you want in a doctor, man or woman, if they're experienced with high risk or low risk, if you want to do a doctor or midwife, that's a big decision, because there's a difference. If you want to deliver at a certain hospital, things like that. And of course, like, get advice if you're open telling people. I read reviews. I know people say reviews are kind of shaky because you might get people are more likely to leave bad reviews. So if you see a bad review on a doctor, doesn't mean the doctor's really that bad. Then if you see a good review on like a location, doesn't mean that all the doctors there are that great. So take that into account. I looked at both reviews, and just a lot of things took into place picking my doctor. But that's not what this is about. Yeah, I met my doctor. She asked me more other questions about like my history, medical history, surgical history, things like that. We got to ask her questions, like really get to know her. She's really, really sweet. I really like her. Then we did the ultrasound after like we talked to her and got like medical history with her. And I wanted to get blood work next. So I gave blood work. They took a lot of blood. They took like a couple of, I guess, pints of blood, because that's when they do most of the genetic testing, like see if you're at a risk for certain genetic disorders and if your pregnancy is high risk. So after that, we had the ultrasound scheduled for like an hour later. So me and baby dad went home and just chilled until the time of the next appointment. So it's time for the ultrasound. So went to the ultrasound. We got to see our little blob of a baby. Got to see her heartbeat. Of course, we didn't know it was a girl at the time because it's too early to tell. Although baby's genders, sex is basically determined at conception. Fun fact. But you don't see the sexual organs until later on in the pregnancy. So I guess I can show you the pictures that I have of my little one. These are the ultrasound pictures. Like I said, see, she was a little blob back then. So that was exciting to see. It really put things into perspective that I was really and truly pregnant. I love that. For the first few months, I loved looking at these and just feeling so good about it. But that was it. Like I said, I got to see the heartbeat. Couldn't hear it until the next appointment, which was in March, a month or so later, and that was my second trimester. So I'll talk more about that when I do a second trimester update. So that's a little bit of the history on finding out I was pregnant and getting to see the baby for the first time. So I guess we can go into like my symptoms, and that's what most people are probably curious about, like what symptoms I had during my first trimester. Because the way they rank trimesters, they're like the first trimester is most likely the worst because you're really adjusting to this new feeling. If you've never been pregnant before, especially. I'm a first time mom. So it's a whole new feeling and a whole new adjustment. Second trimester is heaven. The past few weeks have been so good to me. Like I'll have random moments like headaches and things like that. But other than that, the second trimester is like a breeze. And then they said the third trimester hits you back like the first one does. But that's because, you know, you're getting bigger. You have this huge human in your body. And you're just ready just to get it over with. But that first trimester, when people say it's the worst, I believe it. So they say it's the worst, but freaking believe it. Whew. Okay. So some of my initial symptoms, I say the first one would be tiredness and fatigue and just being so sleepy. My first trimester, I was so lazy and tired. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sleep. I took naps almost every day after work. And that made me a little nervous when I wasn't ready to tell people. I was like, anybody who comes to visit is probably like, why is she asleep? Like, why is she taking a nap? She don't usually take naps. But I also was able to like attribute it to the fact that I started a new job and I was getting used to a new schedule. So that was my reason on why I was so tired. And that's kind of how I played it in my head before I found out I was actually pregnant. But I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get out. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to I just want to just lay in the bed all day and just be lazy and tired. And that was definitely one of those major symptoms I had in my first trimester. Another symptom I had, which was so random to me, is cramping. And that was another thing that threw me off because I felt the cramp. So of course when you feel cramping, it's close time for your period, you think it's your period coming. That's like what my initial thought would have been. So I had to kind of brush it off. It's like, it's my period's coming. I'm just tired for this new job and I'm cramping because my period has to come. So when you feel that cramping and your period never comes, you might be pregnant. It's called implantation. Implantation, I think is how you pronounce it, cramping. So what that is that the fetus, the egg, is attaching itself to the uterus. So in that case, it causes some like uterine contractions. So that causes the cramps. Because cramps when you're getting your period is like your uterus contracting to like shed the skin, if you didn't know that. But so that's why anything going on with your uterus in the walls will cause some cramping. So that's why when I was younger, I would never understand. People always made the joke, like when you'd be like, my stomach hurts. Somebody always be like, are you pregnant? And I never understood why people would always say that. Like, why would my stomach hurt when I'm pregnant? Wouldn't my stomach not hurt? Like, why would I be cramping if I'm pregnant? Now it all makes sense because you do cramp when you get pregnant. So that's the sign. It's a good sign. It's a sign to show that your baby is attaching correctly. Another part of that is some people get implantation bleeding. I didn't get any. So some people get that where it's like spotting and they'll mistake that with their period because cramps, a little bit of bleeding, but apparently it'll be lighter than usual. So that's how you kind of know that it's different than your period. I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any bleeding at all. But some people do get it, and it's not anything to be alarmed about. If it's something like, you know, heavier than your period, then you should be alarmed. But other than that, it's very common. Another symptom I had was frequent urination. I had to pee so freaking much. Like, I would just have to jump up and have to pee so bad. Like, every time I drank something, I had to definitely go pee. Sometimes when I wouldn't drink anything, I would have to pee. And it was like frequent back and forth to the bathroom. And I wasn't really understanding it. That was really, like I said, I could brush everything else off with new job, my period's coming, etc., etc. But that freaking peeing, I was kind of like side-eyed, like, why I gotta pee so much? So yeah, my bladder was not patient. My bladder was like, release it. And with my freaking urination, I feel like I have to pee so urgently, and it would literally be a trickle. And that would get me. It was like my bladder would be like so like aching, where it's like you have to let, you have to really have to pee so bad, and your bladder is kind of like aching, kind of. It's like I have to go right now. That's how I would feel all the freaking time. And I would get to the bathroom, it would be a trickle. And I had to ask my doctor, because like I have to pee so bad, but it's not even that much. And then when I do pee, I don't feel like I'm emptying myself out. Like, I don't feel like I'm done. Like, I still have to get that sensation like I have to pee after I just peed. And she said that's normal. I want to make sure it wasn't like a UTI, but that's something else they check when they check your urine, that you don't have like any UTIs or anything. Because I never feel like satisfied when I pee. So I pee a lot and just never feel satisfied. And that was kind of like a red flag. Like, that's weird. Like, why do I have to pee so much and then I don't even feel like, I don't get relief from peeing? Another symptom that I really didn't even notice until after I really found out I was pregnant, like I kind of noticed it, but I didn't really like raise any red flags on it, is tender and swollen breasts and like darker areolas. And I am a straightforward person, so I really hope that the language I'm using, the things I'm saying, isn't offending anybody. Like I always say, we all grown here, or you should be grown, hopefully watching my videos. If you're not, you're gonna learn today. I'm not saying anything, too crazy, inappropriate. I'm using like correct terminology besides saying peeing. But hope I don't offend. But yeah, my breasts were so like, they felt so heavy. Like, I don't they just felt like they were getting bigger. And they were kind of tender, but it wasn't like tender to the touch where they like hurt, but they just felt like, they felt different. They felt like softer. And I was getting like, because they were swelling, I was getting like veins on my chest. Like, you kind of see like the lines on my chest where you see they're stretching out, and I kind of had stretch marks on my chest. And it's because they were like swelling up and getting swollen. And then my areolas, which is like, the dark part of your nipple, was getting dark. It was getting darker. It was really weird. But I've heard it's a common symptom. My friend who just had a baby, who I said in my last video, I was at her gender reveal when I found out I was pregnant. She said that was like her first thing that she realized she was pregnant, is her areolas got dark. So that is another common symptom that I had that people don't really talk about. I'm trying to slow down because I know I talk fast a lot, and I kind of like don't finish my sentences and fully pronounce words. So I'm working on that. I promise I am. So another symptom I had was I was moody. Which I keep saying, I am a moody person, but I just did not want to be bothered with anybody. Like, I already was tired and irritated, but just anything anybody said kind of like just irritated me, just made me mad, kind of pissed me off, kind of. So I kind of was like on edge, like, and I could just wake up that way and just be in the mood. And then I work in a call center talking to like customers all day, so that is just like, they would really like get to me. And I was like emotional too. Like, I think I've cried a couple times over like little stuff that would just irritate me. Like, my mood was all out of whack. These pregnancy hormones, they are no joke. Like, I cried like 2 days ago over something that I wouldn't have cried about on a regular day. And it's just, yeah, those hormones really mess with your emotions. Like, you get emotional, I get moody, and I get so just like so irritated, so moody, so emotional that I just like cry. It sucks sometimes, but that's why I would look at the baby ultrasounds to make me feel better, because I would be like in one of my bad moods and just not be feeling it. So, get into the big symptom, freaking nausea. You guessed it. I was so nauseous. That is by far my worst symptom that I went through my entire first trimester. That entire 12 to 13 weeks, I was nauseous every single day. So let's get into it. So my nausea wasn't what I would say is typical. So a random fact about me, I trained myself not to throw up. I hate throwing up. Back in high school, it's like the last time I had throw up until I threw up like back in August at Baby Daddy's house, because I had went to like our state fair and I ate like a lot of state fair food, and I think some of that food just didn't settle out in my stomach, and that was the first time I had threw up since high school. Like I said, I'm 28. Like, I train myself, like if I'm sick, if I'm drunk and hungover, I don't throw up. I could feel like that nausea in my stomach, but I have trained my body not to throw up, which is kind of dangerous, but it's just my preference. I hate throwing up with a passion. So because I did that to myself, I had this nausea, but I would never throw up. I was just constantly nauseous. Imagine just a hangover. Not like a head spinning hangover, like the hangover with your stomach, where you feel like you have to throw up. Like when you get so drunk or you get so hungover that you want to throw up. Imagine having that every day, all day. That's exactly. I didn't even think about that explanation from the beginning. That's the best way to describe it. Like you are hungover, nauseous, or even super drunk and you want to throw up. That's how I felt every day, and I couldn't throw up. I thought so long and hard about making myself throw up, but I just kept thinking like that's really dangerous. Like you shouldn't. They tell people like with eating disorders not to do that. Like I don't think I should make myself throw up. I think I need to let my body just make itself throw up. But because, like I said, I trained my body not to throw up, my body would not throw it up. So just hungover with nauseous all day, every day, and it won't go away. Nothing you can do makes it go away. That's how I would feel for that 12 weeks. It was triggered when I woke up in the morning. It would be triggered almost the end of my shift, like around 6 p.m.-ish, like clockwork, like literally around that time. If I ever started feeling nauseous while I was at work, I knew it was close to 6 p.m. So weird. And it would be triggered a lot of times right before I go to bed. So at first I kind of thought it was my prenatals. So my doctor prescribed me prenatal pills with iron. So I always heard that could make you look more sick. So they recommend you taking it at night. So first I was taking it in the morning, but I was taking it at night before bed to see if that helps my morning sickness. It will help just a little bit. It would help more with the morning sickness, but I was still getting sick every day. I was still having that all day morning sickness and just couldn't let it go away. I threw up one time at work, and I don't even know where it came from. Like I was just like, I went to the bathroom like my break, and I was leaving the bathroom and I just felt it coming up. I gagged a lot too. 1 second. Sorry, my camera started warning me that it wanted to go dead, child. Okay. What was I saying? So I gagged a lot. So it would be like a lot of dry heaving. Like I would feel like I was about to throw up, but nothing would come up. It was so horrible. It was really the worst. That was the worst part of my first trimester. It was so bad it had me like, I ain't never doing this again. I'm one and done. I ain't having no more kids. If this is what this is gonna come with, I don't want no more kids. Like I couldn't deal with it every day and having just to live a regular everyday life. Like I said, I only threw up once at work. Like I was leaving the bathroom and I started gagging, and I thought it was just like my normal like just dry heave, but I felt it coming up, so I ran back into the bathroom and threw up. But it was still just a little bit, and that was the only time I ever threw up. Just a lot of gagging. I would gag walking to my car, because I park like a few blocks. It's like a 10-minute walk from my job. So by the time I got to my car, I was like, I had gagging fits every time I got in my car. And certain things would trigger the nausea. Like when I would walk with friends, and one of my coworkers, she would smoke. She's a smoker, so she would smoke on the walk to the car, and it would make me so nauseous and sick. Like I used to hate it, but she didn't know I was pregnant, so I couldn't tell her you can't smoke around me. But I would just try to like kind of walk a little ways behind them, just saying like, I'm tired, I'm just walking a little slower, just so that smoke didn't fly into my face, because it was it made me sick. Strong smells in general would turn my stomach. Like strong smells like grease Like when you're cooking, like frying stuff, like cooking oils. If somebody was frying something, you know how strong that grease is? That would make me sick. That smell would make me sick. Hot wings. I remember my coworker who sat next to me went and got some hot wings. And you know hot wings have when they're really hot, they have a strong smell. Oh my gosh, that freaking. I looked at her so sideways when she brought that food. But again, she didn't know I was pregnant, so I couldn't say anything. But I was just like miserable as she ate her hot wings at her desk. I'm like, why is she eating at her desk right now? Like, why can't she go to the break room and eat? That's making me so sick. I had coworkers that would get Chinese food. You know, Chinese food is a strong smell. That would just make me like, I can smell it now, and even now, it's still like I'm like scarred. Like it would just make me so sick and so miserable. So yeah, those things that would trigger me. And of course, like when you're pregnant, your sense of smell is a little more stronger, so I could smell anything. It just wouldn't. Strong perfumes and colognes make me like not like any strong smell just made me really sick. So the things that would ease my stomach though, I didn't have much of an appetite, so I really couldn't eat, which is why I think like the first trimester I didn't really gain as much. Because I really couldn't eat. Like of course I ate because I had to, you know, nourish my body, and I was eating for two, technically. Like wherever I ate, the baby eats. So I had to make sure I ate something so the baby could eat. But I just really have an appetite because nothing really eased my stomach. Like everything sounded disgusting. Like, and if it had a strong smell, it was definitely disgusting. Like I really didn't want it. So I would have, like I still have crackers next to my bed. Crackers, club crackers, and saltines were the only thing that would ease my stomach. Like I had them at my desk at work. I have them by my bed. And I would just really just eat them all day. Like over and over again, just eating crackers and drinking ginger ale. I would get the 6-pack of ginger ale and leave it in my car before, and take one in before as I'm walking into work. On my lunch break, I would go to this corner store and buy a ginger ale because he had them for $1. And I would buy a couple and drink them all day at work. What else? I found some ginger cough drops. Those ease my stomach. So ginger really does ease your stomach because I was reading that ginger is like a remedy for morning sickness or just nausea in general. So that peppermints will also help. I think just sucking on them would just, I guess, take my body's mind off of being sick. I don't know. Peppermints, ginger cough drops, ginger ale, crackers, pickles. Pickles was a random craving or something that eased my stomach, and it was like the kosher pickles. Like it has to be the bitter pickles. Coworker recommended bread and butter. That was so nasty to me. Like, and that wouldn't ease it would make my stomach worse because sweet stuff would make my stomach kind of worse. So I need stuff that was like bland or bitter, sour. So I need like the regular pickles that's in like regular vinegar. Like that's what I needed to ease my stomach. And I still have a lot in my refrigerator to this day. And I would just like eat one every night, just keep eating them until my stomach eased. I would buy pickles at the corner store on my lunch break. I would go to this deli, get a sandwich, and make sure I had a pickle in that box. That I would eat that pickle. Like, ugh. That was the worst. I also had a morning sickness band, and I have it here somewhere. Where is it? So it's called an acupressure band, I think. I found it at Walmart. It's called a C band. I'll try to link them below. And it really didn't help. It had like this ball that I think is supposed to go on the inside of your wrist. And adding that pressure on the inside of your wrist is supposed to like stop your nausea. I don't think it worked for me. I mean, I think it made it a little better, but I would have to feel like I would have to keep squeezing it because it's not really that tight on my wrist. So I would feel like I have to keep squeezing it sometimes. If I had it on and I still felt nauseous, I would kind of like squeeze it on my wrist to try to make it feel better. But even then, I didn't think it really felt that great. And it doesn't match anything. I actually had a coworker. We were in a training. So it's a coworker I don't even work with on an everyday basis. She's on a different team. She was sitting next to me and she was like, "Are you pregnant?" I said, "What?" She said, "Are you pregnant? I see your little band. I thought that was the pregnancy band." I said, "Oh no, that's not what this is." Like, mind your business. Like, and I was like, when I didn't tell anybody, I'm like, and that was the point. I'm like, I have to start trying to hide this. I have to wear like long sleeves to work so people don't see this band because I don't know who else knows this is a pregnancy band. I'm like, how did you know that? Like, I never even heard this before I was pregnant. Have y'all heard of a pregnancy band? Like, that was news to me. But my morning sickness had me just like, besides being morning sickness, I think added on to my moodiness because I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to be touched. When I would get home, I just wanted to get in my own bed. Me and my baby daddy would have at it because he would be like, I want you to come over. I want to see you. I want to like hold you. Woo, woo, woo. And I would just be like, I don't have it. I don't have it in me. I'm fatigued. I'm sick. I've been working all day. I don't have it in me to come to your house. I'm sorry. Like I can't come over. And I just didn't want to be bothered because I was just always so sick and just, it was literally the worst. Like, it was so bad, my doctor had to prescribe medicine. First, she prescribed B6 vitamins to me. That worked in the beginning, but eventually it just stopped working. And I was taking like 3 times a day and they weren't doing anything. So, like, close to like the end, it was getting like unbearable. Like, mind you, I've been going through 12 weeks of this. So, close to like the last couple weeks. My last appointment before, like my appointment like in March, I think. I told her, I'm like, I still feel horrible. I still feel sick. And she was like, okay, since you feel so bad, I'm going to prescribe you Zofran. So she prescribed me Zofran. I went and got that prescription that freaking day. And I was kind of scared to take it because I was kind of reading. She was basically saying, only take if you absolutely need it. And I don't take medicine. I try to let my body just do its own thing to fix itself. So for the fact that I was ready to pop that Zofran pill so fast, can tell you how bad the nausea was. But she said only take it if you absolutely need it. Like, you can't, like, nothing else is helping. No crackers, no ginger ale, no, nothing's helping. Didn't take it. So I kind of held off taking it until I got to like that very last moment. I was like, I can't keep going through this. And I was kind of reading that people said, and she even told me, she was saying it could cause constipation and headaches. So I was kind of nervous. I'm like, oh, I hate medicine already, and this has these side effects I don't want. Like, I'm already miserable. I don't want a headache, and I don't want to be constipated because I was already freaking constipated. But it got so unbearable, I took it one day. I went and bought like laxatives just in case it made me constipated, and I took it right before bed. So in case it did give me a headache, I was already going to bed. So I took it. Ever since I took that Zofran, I have not had morning sickness. I think it was a mix of Zofran and a mix of I was getting out of my first trimester that took away all the morning sickness. As soon as I got my second trimester, morning sickness was no more. This crazy how things switch up when you go from trimester to trimester. Because, like I said, the second trimester has been like a breeze. It's been beautiful. I've been, doing makeup more. I've been making more videos. I've been more, in a better mood. But that first trimester was a freaking... mess. So because of my morning sickness, I really didn't gain this much. I gained like... They recommend, well, my doctor recommends gaining 2 pounds a month. So I was like gaining like a pound every appointment. It was like, she was so excited. She's like, you're doing so well in your weight gain. You only gained a pound. You only do. And I was like, because I can't eat. Like, and I feel sick. Like, that's why. Which I guess is good. But I feel horrible. But even though I wasn't gaining as much weight, I was starting to fill out. Like I mentioned in my last video, my friend pointed out I was getting thicker. And I was getting like a little thicker in the hips and thighs. I had one picture for my sister's birthday that I posted, and my best friend commented. She was like, you were so thick. She's okay, thighs. And my thighs are freaking huge in that picture. And it was like, dang, my body's really filling out. Oh, Jesus, I'm getting thick. My clothes started feeling a little snug. And I started, in my first trimester, I started like maternity shopping. Like little things that I knew I had to have because they was getting too snug, like some pants. But I didn't want to get a lot of stuff because I could still fit some of my stuff. But I try to find like a little more comfortable things because like some of my clothes were getting a little tighter. So those are my symptoms. I guess I can go into my cravings. I already kind of spoke a little bit about those. I really couldn't eat much. I really started having more cravings like closer to the end of the first trimester where like the nausea was like ceasing a little bit. So like I said, I wanted pickles like crazy. Like that's all I could eat because it eased my nausea and I wanted them so bad, and I would just eat them and just drink the juice. I love pickle juice, but I was just like, ugh. I might go eat some pickles when I leave here. Actually, hold on. I'm just gonna eat some pickles. So these were the pickles that I would freaking eat. And just regular Kroger brand kosher dill spears. Like, I haven't really eaten them as much since I haven't been as sick, but just talk about them and reminiscing on them makes me want one so bad. Oh my god, they're so bitter and so good. These pickles are so fucking good. They'd be so cold. I'm drinking pickle juice on me. So along with my craving for pickles, I ate pickles every day. Multiple pickles a day. I started packing them in my lunch because I wanted them so bad. I'll eat pickles mixed with other stuff. Like, I love pickles mixed with the cheddar jalapeno Cheetos. Oh my god. It was like the cheese and the jalapeno crunchiness mixed with the pickle bitterness. Heaven. Or I'll eat pickles mixed with Doritos. Like, eat them all at the same time. Like, throw some Doritos in my mouth and throw a pickle in my mouth. Yeah, fire. What else did I crave? At the beginning, I craved like more bitter, sour stuff. I craved hot fries. I ate hot fries a lot. But that was really it. Like I said, I didn't have much of an appetite, so I was like doing the crackers and pickles thing, but then I'll have like chips. So it'll be like the cheddar jalapeno or Doritos or hot fries. But that was it. I don't think when I went out for lunch I would get much of anything because I didn't have appetite. So yeah, that's really pretty much it. That's my first trimester. It wasn't very, active because you really can't do too much. You have your usual appointments once a month, which I still do. They're about to, I think when I get 28 weeks, they're going to start coming to be like bi-monthly. So I have like 2 a month as opposed to once a month. So I would just go to the doctor once a month, nothing much. She would just, after you heard the first heartbeat, the appointment was really just vitals, hear the heartbeat, ask doctor questions. That was it. But that's that first initial one. And yeah, I mean, I spoke all about how I found out in my last video. So this one really was just like how the first trimester went. And like I said, uneventful, besides me just being freaking sick, miserably sick. So yeah, that's about it with how my first trimester went. I guess I can give my last little words of advice. What I would say for anybody going through their first trimester or who just found out they're pregnant and they're trying to anticipate what their first trimester is going to be like, I would say just take it all in and move on your own time. Like for me, I didn't tell anyone until I was out of my first trimester, besides like my immediate family. Like my mom, my sister knew while I was still in my first trimester, best because I'm close to this, my family. But other like extended family, friends, co-workers, I didn't tell anybody until I was out of my first trimester. Because that first trimester is the most crucial because you have a higher risk of miscarriage. And if you've never had a kid, you really don't know what your risk of miscarriage is, or if you can, carry a baby full term. Like I didn't know. Like I have family members who have history of like miscarriages. So I'm thinking like that could be me. So I don't want to like tell people and then something happens, unfortunately, and then I'll lose the baby and have to explain to people that I lost the baby. So I wanted to make sure I was in the clear, which you're not technically in the clear until your baby's here, but your risk of miscarriage decreases greatly after the first trimester. So don't feel like you have to like tell the world or tell everybody, or if you want to do that, definitely tell whoever you're comfortable with telling. If you're super excited, you want to tell everybody, do so. Like move on your own time. Just because I didn't share this after my first trimester doesn't mean you have to hold it in till you're in your second trimester. Like do what's best for you, and don't be afraid to take time to yourself. Like I said, I didn't want to be bothered, and I just let people know. And if you didn't understand that, then you just was understanding of me, and it's just not, I can't have you in my life if you can't understand that I just need this time to myself. It's an adjustment. This is a major life adjustment that as a first time mom you do not know how to deal with. You don't know what to expect. Everybody's pregnancy is different. How you react or how you felt is different than the next person. Next person could feel like have the best first trimester and feel like they want to be out under everybody and they want people just in their space. If that's not you, because that's not me, I really want people in my space in general. So when I'm going through like all these different emotions and different physical changes that I've never gone through before, I had to take that time to myself to really figure it out. And don't be afraid to do that and do what's best for you. Like don't worry about what other people think, what people think you should be doing or feeling like or acting like in your first trimester. Just do you, boo. Like, don't let nobody, this is your body, this is your baby, this is your life. Take it how you want to take it. be ready to make mistakes. Not mistakes, I said that loosely. And be open to learn new things about yourself. Like I said, everybody's different. So no matter what your mama, sister, great granny, your grandmama, your auntie says you should be doing your first trimester, or how their first trimester went, or what they did in their first trimester, you don't have to listen to it. Even if you know what it turns out whatever they said was correct, don't be afraid to make a mistake, as long as it's nothing that's gonna like be detrimental to your health or the baby's health. Like, don't be afraid to make your own mistakes. And that's the type of person I am. I'm like, you can tell me something, but if I want to just figure it out on my own, I'm going to figure it out on my own. Like, if they're telling you, you need to be drinking this, but you're like, no, I don't want to drink, I just want to drink water. I don't want to drink this little special concoction that you got that you say is going to ease my nausea. Like, let me do this. And then if I was wrong, I was wrong. As long as nothing that's going to hurt my baby and me, you know. And you know what's best for you, and you know what's best for your baby. Like mother's intuition, you know what's best for your child. So, yeah, it's like I said, as long as nothing's putting you in danger, your baby in danger, don't be afraid to make mistakes and learn something new and learn about yourself. Like, when you take your time to yourself, you learn yourself, and you learn who you are, how you are. Like, even if you know yourself as a person, you as a mother is a different person. Like, I've learned so many new things about myself that I've been carrying a child. Like, I have a different mindset. I know it's cliche to say, but Danny the icon and Danny the mommy, two different people. And I had to learn that. I had to meet myself as a mother. I had to meet myself as someone that's growing a human life in my body. That's my words of advice. Just do you. It's a beautiful moment. Take it all in. It happens so fast. Like, I felt like my first trimester went by so slowly. Like, I feel like I was miserable for so long. And it does like drag along. But once you get out of it, especially when you start feeling better, if you are feeling sick, it goes by so fast. Me being 6 months, like when I read that, my pregnancy app yesterday morning was nuts. It was so crazy. I'm like, I'm taking my 6th month. I just found out yesterday that I was pregnant. Like, and when things turn up in your second trimester, like I said, I could do a second trimester video, and things like it's different. Things like it really speeds up. Things start happening so fast. So just take it all in, enjoy it, even the bad times, even the nausea, even the fatigue, the constant pain. Just take it all in to remember these moments. I have a little baby book. This is my little baby book, the belly book. I don't know if I showed it before, but it goes through every trimester. And I got this when I was in my second trimester. I didn't start taking like belly pictures until I was in my second trimester. And I somewhat regret it, because as I was trying to fill out the first trimester section, I really couldn't remember certain things it was asking. I'm like, dang, I wish I would have started tracking that in the beginning so I can remember those moments. I wish I would have started taking belly pictures so I can see when my belly was somewhat flat to how it is now. Like, I could really have seen the growth. It's a beautiful moment. This is, you're growing a life in you. It's a new experience if you're a new mommy. It's another experience. It's a new experience if you're an old mommy. If you have kids already. Every kid's experience is different. And just, it's beautiful. It really is. Even through all the pain. Now that I've gone through the bad first trimester, I really realized, like, I could probably do it again. Like, I could probably have another kid. I survived the first one. I could survive another. But yeah, that's my story, my first trimester. Let me know if you all liked it. If you all want to see more trimester updates, or how you want me to update my pregnancy journey. Do you want to do like, you want me to do it weekly? Do you want me to do it monthly? Like, I'm starting to do 6 months, 7 months, 8th month, 9th month, as opposed to like, I did my first trimester, I could do my second trimester, I could do my third trimester. It's, tell me how you want me to track this journey. I can make as many videos as y'all want me to make, and track as how much y'all want me to track it. So just let me know what y'all think down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. To all my new mommies, or women who just found out they're pregnant, or who are currently in their second trimester like me, or are about to pop, congratulations. You are an amazing mother. You're gonna have a beautiful baby. I pray for a healthy pregnancy, a safe delivery, and that your baby is so healthy and beautiful. I hope it looks like you. Because, honey, I think this child's going to look like her daddy. And I always thought this fellow like her daddy is going to drive me crazy. But, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next video. So, until next time, stay beautiful.